Hi, this is my first ever video I am going to be making. To keep in mind, I am going to be making videos once a week. So yeah, today I am going to be calling out on an individual went by the name of Cupidite. You may be wondering, what do he do, you may ask? Cupidite is an impulsive, erratic person and won't be tagging him as he will send people after me. Also will be tagging graceful and yummy. To keep in mind, this person have a victim complex. So bear with me. Whenever Cupidite get valid criticism, they went apeshit and blame shifting on others, instead of ignoring them or taking it well. Here's the video made by Graceful to prove my point.
Represented to the point of not mentioning that this was an accident from what Cupidite said. Another issue I found was that Cactus, without realizing, intertwined two different situations. Do not think this was on purpose, but either way, it's still really bad considering both were instances where child material was sent in a public Discord server. Are we 100% sure that this is what happened? No, as there's no way to actually prove the intentions of this other than what Cupidite said. One thing mentioned though is when they showed voice clips of Cupidite explaining the situation regarding Prim, person who will be talked about later. Person who drew Lolicon and Shotacon. Cupidite said they're willing to send proof of Shotacon/Lolicon because it isn't real child material.
I was offered to be sent the Shotacon drawn by Prim.
And also she sent like weird like prolapse and stuff to him, and also Shotacon that she drew of her OCs, which I can send that if you want because it's not real CSEM, but it's still really bad.
I went live rewatching this to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I did miss this, but I'm glad I caught it now. After this, they made an apology on their community post. Sorry to Graceful Yummy Cactus. I was asking to send that one thing Prim drew as it isn't real because Yummy asked for proof. And I thought that was included. I was implying it wasn't illegal to send to you. That's all. Regardless, I knew it was something bad, which is why I asked for your consent. To generally apologize for the misconception, I generally have no ill intent behind that. I won't make a mistake in the future knowing it isn't okay now. Sincerest apologies. They were purposely vague while talking about this, and they said asking to send that one thing, and they didn't mention what it was. The fans under the comment didn't really understand why it was wrong to ask this. Let me put it in simple terms for you guys. Lolicon is the depiction of minors. You shouldn't be sending that to anyone. I recommend a video that kind of goes over this a little bit, and it's by Toastify. It's Dear YouTubers, You Are Not the Police. I left a comment under Yummy's video mentioning that I knew about this for quite a bit, but didn't touch it as a video because how complicated the situation really was. I did in fact used to have proof of Cupidite admitting to watching that content, but without the real context to it. I did go live saying exactly what I said in the comment, and showed the proof that I did have to prove some of my claims. I was not able to prove the audio proof, but Cupidite does admit it, and states why it happened. Now moving on to the live. To start off the live, I was going over everything that I had, which isn't that important compared to the call that was coming up. The call started off very odd with Cupidite saying, "Hey N-word." I personally take that as not taking the situation very seriously, and I call it weird. Yo, alright, why are you, okay, you're just weird as fuck. Will you start off the call with that?
What? Okay, can we like not do that?
Then we get into the first thing, the zoo video. They fully admitted this and gave context as to why. Again, we cannot know this is 100% true, but I would just take their word on this. But Cupidite tried to say that I was blaming them for watching it. They then claimed that I shouldn't make a stream without proof. I said before this, if you do not want to believe the zoo stuff, then don't. I stated I cannot get that proof, but when they openly admit it on live, it's just silly. I had proof for other situations in this live. The only thing I said was that I had proof that they watched it. When I said that, they just moved on. First thing, was there or was there not a screen recording of you admitting that you watched zoo shit when you were younger?
Yeah, let me explain that. Okay, so I was being groomed by this mass pedophile at this time. His name is Atony. I'm not going to give lots of proof. But he would force me to watch those things and like tell me to watch those things and send it to me. And then after I realized I was being, I felt freaking horrible. I didn't know what was like going on or anything. He had been grooming me for a while, and he would try to like tell me to like match to it and stuff, but I didn't do it. Don't worry. It was just like this really, really big fiasco. Also, I have accounts from my friends of him like, you know, doing this stuff and telling me to do weird things in voice chats and whatnot. I don't really want to get into because it's really triggering, but I find it really, really weird that you're blaming me for this, especially
if you had the context that I had, right? If you had the context that I have, which was not mentioned that you were being groomed at all, right? You have to realize the only thing I had is you admitting that you watched this shit. There was no context that you were being.
You shouldn't make a stream without any proof or
okay,
any
well, you have to. I was also talking about other shit. It wasn't just.
That's okay. You can.
And I said, if you don't believe me, then that's fine, right? I said I had proof of you admitting that you watched that shit. I didn't say anything else other than that.
All right, but just debunking that, I was watching that.
I stated that I went live talking about what I knew about the situation, without the context to the zoo stuff, which I was not pushing any narrative other than the truth that they watched it. I did not say anything like they enjoyed it or that they're a zoo, you know what, or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I just went live talking about everything that I knew because everything that's coming out.
You were just like claiming it as fact, which is really weird.
Because it was a fact. I had a video, I had a screen recording of you admitting that you watched this stuff without the context of that stuff.
Exactly, but are you gonna like say that you have the context now instead of just saying it was?
The context is right there. You just gave the context, did you not?
I did, but are you going to stop saying that I'm you know, oh, you willingly watched
I didn't say you willingly watch. Okay, now you're putting words in my mouth. Did I say you willingly watched that?
Well, apologies. It's just what it sounded like. I'm sorry.
I did not. Okay, you can go rewatch the stream. I didn't say you willingly watched anything. To make that clear, I said you watched it. I didn't say that you were enjoying it either. I never said that you enjoyed it.
Wait, so what is the... Okay, I'm not even gonna ask.
We then talked about the Prim situation, where they actually sent child material of Prim on their public server, which has minors in it. They explained what happened. They explained that they tried to get a screenshot of proof of Prim admitting to doing gross things to a picture of a 13 to 14-year-old's face. Then said they accidentally copied the video of Prim doing those gross things. How did this happen? How do you go from screenshotting proof of them admitting of doing these gross things to copying a link of the video of them doing it? Those are two different things and that work differently. Either way, if it was a mistake, it is still very bad, regardless of intentions. They've explained to cupidite that it deserves criticism even if it was by accident. They stated that this information should not be public either way. Again, no one knows the intentions other than what cupidite said. I'm sorry, but when you accidentally post that in a public server full of minors and other people that don't want to see that shit, it has to be public and it needs to be criticized.
Full video will be linked in the description. And here's proof of Cupid shifting blame on others. They also made a video victimizing themselves. Not only that, they encouraged doxing on Yummy Cactus. Here's a recorded evidence of it happening. Cupidite, before you lie and say, I am not encouraging doxing. You saying Yummy deserve it still is encouraging it. Also, you are a hypocrite. You claimed that kink shaming is bad. Yet you made a video kink shaming others for having DDLG kink and calling it P3dophilic? Bro, aren't you a minor? You know minors shouldn't engage in kink discourse as they are too young for these discussions. Anyways, you should take a break from, and I hope this video help you realize about your actions as you are still young and growing. Bye y'all.